to carry her rapist baby. You
Yeah,
understand
to
that?
look that woman in the eye who was the born
listen,
of a rape.
do you understand that? That's a 14-year-old child.
I know.
Yeah, would you look the 14-year-old child in the eye and then be like, I know it's kind of unfortunate what happened to you. I'm not going to say it out loud, but, you know, the event. And you're unfortunately now going to have to carry the product of that event inside you all the way until its birth, and then take care of it for the rest of your life. It will be a consistent and constant reminder of what happened to you. Yeah, that's my worldview. Apparently Joe Rogan went woke.
So it seems as if the wedge between the right and Joe Rogan is continuing to grow,
There's also a wedge between Sam Harris and the right, because, you know, those people in the height of the intellectual dark web, when they were all having a great time, they were very, very happy, they demanded to be taken seriously, everyone seemed like they're best friendies, you know? Like Dave Rubin could hang out with a man like Sam Harris could hang out with a man like Joe Rogan could hang out with a man like Jordan Peterson. All of them were just like best friends together, you know, doing the Care Bear stare, locking hands, love emanating from their crotches and all that kind of stuff. And now it seems like some of their more yikesy takes are bouncing off each other.
presumably because he actually had a right-wing guest on his program, not surprising there. But what was surprising was that he pushed back against what this guest was saying, and it pertains to the issue of abortion, which Rogan has made very clear he supports abortion. So good for him. So I'll give him credit for pushing back.
Was Rubin officially intellectual dark web? Rubin being an official member, and I will show you the actual like Marvel Cinematic Universe picture. Hold on. It's so funny. It's like they think they're so cool. Can we take a second to appreciate how even in their like we're cool photos, what is going on? Are you shitting while standing up? I can't for the life of me understand that A, why you took this photo, and B, why you approved it for the final thing. Like, what the hell? But anyways, yeah, I think this was the original roster, then it started expanding. Like, the fact that you're here invalidates the intellectual side of the entire experiment for sure. But what else is kind of wild about all this is that, like, Tim Pool was never allowed. He, like, I think he wanted to be in it so badly, but, like, he was never considered one of the intellectual dark web. But anyways, they're clashing now. Now Sam Harris apparently is getting a lot of people mad because he's like, I did not think that Hunter Biden's laptop was worse than Donald Trump and all his crimes, and that's getting a lot of people very angry.
Finally, on something that a right-winger he brings on his show says, but I don't necessarily care that much about Rogan. Like, I don't want to try to gauge where he's at ideologically and whether or not he sides with Republicans or Democrats. I'll give him credit where it's due. But ultimately, I wanted to talk about this particular clip because of the arguments raised by said guest, because they're so mind-numbingly idiotic that I can't not respond to them. Now, the guest that I'm referring to here is Seth Dillon, CEO of the Babylon Bee. Now, if you're unfamiliar with the Babylon Bee, they're kind of like The Onion, wherein they're a satirical news website. The difference is that they're not funny, and they've never been funny. For example, here's a couple of bangers. Pete Davidson confirmed as next James Bond. Hilarious stuff here, guys.
Wait, I'm gonna be honest, I don't even get this one. Like, I know it's supposed to be, because it's the Babylon Bee, a play on the fact that there was a suspicion that the next James Bond would be black or a woman. But yeah, I'm at a loss here. And I normally get the bad Babylon Bee jokes.
Hilarious stuff here, guys. Here are the winners of the Babylon Bees Women of the Year. And they have The Rock and Colin Kaepernick and SpongeBob.
Yeah, I get this one. I get what they're trying to do here. I understand the joke. The joke.
It, LOL, because trans women exist. So this is great. Report, go to church, you heathen. Ooh, this one's really edgy.
This one's just lazy.
AOC to vote against making daylight savings time permanent, saying Americans consume too much sunlight already. Okay.
Now, I get that one. I understand. It's not my cup of tea, but I get it.
Now, I kid you not, this was under their greatest hits section on their website. Quote, Bernie Sanders arrives in Hong Kong to lecture protesters on how good they have it under communism.
But see, I get that one too. Like, I understand where they're trying to derive humor from. And again, not really my thing, but
So fucking hilarious. Just
did any chat? There's okay. We almost have 300 viewers already. None of you in my hive minds, none of you can figure out the Pete Davidson. Did that break the left? Did the Pete Davidson break the? Explain it to me. I need it explained to me. Okay, I need to know why. Is it because he was having sex with Kim Kardashian, who used to be Kanye West's wife? Is that the reason why? But even then, I don't quite understand it. Is that why? It's really a joke that it did have a man for a year. It's really a trans joke. No, I get that one. I understand. I get almost all of them except for the Pete Davidson one. Is the joke that it's not a joke? Maybe? I don't know. I need it explained to me. I need to know. That broke my mind.
So, Seth Dillon is going to talk to Joe Rogan.
Is he mixed race? I thought he was is he? Pete Davidson. Is it just because Pete Davidson was all over headlines for a while? I don't think so. I think he's like Italian or something. Pete Davidson was born in New York, Staten Island. He is the son of Amy and Scott Matthew Davidson. He's the father of a New York firefighter who died. He was last seen coming up the stairs, Marriott World Trade Center. His requiem mass held in St. Clair's Roman Catholic Church. Age 7, profound by loss. He told the New York Times it was overwhelming. Davidson's father was predominantly of Jewish ancestry. Maybe that could be it. He's Jewish. Maybe that's part of it. I'm not entirely sure. The Babylon Bee Explained is an ethical thing. Babylon Bee Explained. I can't believe this account exists. Thank you. The joke is that Pete Davidson is actually an international man of mystery, with the mystery being why he's a thing. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. That's ridiculous. That's so ridiculous. Yeah. All the best jokes have to be explained. Fake news you can trust now. I now understand. The joke is that the Senate is so concerned about racism that trying hard to confirm the color of skin and the content of her character. The joke is that the bee's tweets are more harmful than the Taliban's, who are terrorists. For a few weeks. Oh, there is so many funny novelty accounts on Twitter. I tip of my hat. Like that's got to be one of the funnier ones I've come across in a while. Good stuff. Good stuff. Idris Elba's James Bond. I don't see why that's not happening. It would be so fucking awesome. He's like one of the coolest human beings on the planet. Yeah, make it happen. Like I remember that when I found out that Idris Elba is also like a very talented musician. I was like, wait, what? I was like, yeah, and he's a very talented DJ. And I was like, wait, what? I didn't know that. And I was like watching one of his sets. I was like, holy shit, this is really good. Damn, dude is very cool. Anyways, back to the Great Wokening.
Fucking carry some rapist baby. There's women who have been sexually assaulted before the age of 14.
There's also, hold on though.
But hold on, don't stop me.
Okay.
That's real too. And we all have to agree. We have to agree on both of those things.
There are also though, I'm not going to.
I'm Ace, and even I can appreciate that he has sex appeal. Haha. Oh, he's a very attractive man. Yes.
Argue with you on that point, but I will say there are people who have been born of rape and are alive right now and are pro-life, and they go around speaking.
Did y'all hear about the headless baby that is being born because a woman has to be forced to give birth against her will, and she has to go to like a different state for the birth of the headless baby? And I was like, if this was the title of a fucking Stephen King novel, I would be like, that's a bit much. I'd be like, you went too far, Stephen. You got to dial it back, okay? I mean, if you're gonna have the birth of the headless baby, at least put it in the novel somewhere. That doesn't need to be the headline, okay? I don't want to be walking across the aisle of the bookstore and I'd be like, oh, ew, and keep going. But no, this is real life. This is a news headline. This is a real fucking thing. A woman is being forced against her will to give birth to a headless baby. What the fuck is this? What is going on?
speaking, talking about
That's
how I
great.
had a right to live, and they will go out there and make an argument, a pro-life case, and they're born of a rape.
You don't have a right to tell a 14-year-old girl she has to carry a rapist baby.
I'm just saying that.
don't.
I'm
But
just
you
saying that.
And also, that logic is so strange. Like, what if you told this person, hey, by the way, I will go, I will have a consensual relationship with my partner and give birth to a baby if you allow someone to rape you? Yeah. So if you don't allow someone to rape you right now, then you are not allowing this baby to be born, because the deal is, and it's only going to work one way, I'll do that if you do this. So we now allow someone to rape you. Do you think like the Babylon Bee guy is going to be like, oh yes, I would accept 1,000 rapes if it meant 1,000 more babies are born? Hell no. It's going to be like, what the fuck? No, get out of the room.
That's
understand what
real
you're
too.
saying?
Yeah, I understand. I
But
understand what
you
you're saying.
understand what I'm saying? Like, you don't have the right to tell my 14-year-old daughter she has.
He has to carry the headless, non-viable fetus for 6 months, still, unless she gets it aborted. 6 months carrying a future corpse. That's so fucking grim. Like, what the fuck? Ugh. Somehow we have to infiltrate PureFlix to do a movie about headless baby or a minor that is not allowed to abort. I mean, I in another time I would be like, yes, this seems like it's amazing content for horror movies, but I think it would be totally inappropriate. It'd be like doing a horror movie about the Holocaust, you know? It's just like, this shit is real. This shit is actually affecting, potentially hundreds of thousands of women and trans men and non-binary people in the United States. It's fucked.
To carry her rapist baby. You
But
understand
to
that?
look that woman in the eye who was the
But
born
listen,
of a rape.
do you understand that? That's a 14-year-old child.
I know.
Yeah, would you look the 14-year-old child in the eye and then be like, I know it's kind of unfortunate what happened to you. I'm not going to say it out loud, but, the event. And you're unfortunately now going to have to carry the product of that event inside you all the way until its birth, and then take care of it for the rest of your life. It will be a consistent and constant reminder of what happened to you. Yeah, that's my worldview.
14-year-old child gets raped. You say that they have to carry that baby?
I don't think two wrongs make a right. I don't think
That's
murder.
not- I don't think that's
murder is
wrong.
an answer to. I don't think murder fixes a rape.
So what he did there was tacitly endorse violence against women. He said, I don't think that a murder fixes a rape. So murder being the worst crime, the implication is that the girl in this hypothetical situation who was raped is more evil than the rapist for choosing to have an abortion. That's the implication. That's the subtext. And it's so gross. Imagine arguing to an audience of
Yeah.
11 million that a child who is the victim of rape should not have the choice to get rid of the rapist baby. And again, I just want to remind everyone, most of the abortions that are performed in the United States, they happen very early.
It's a zygote, not a baby. Yeah, well, how are we ever going to explain that to any of them? Now they're getting to the point where life starts at what? Weird glances? Like life starts in the bus stop when the stranger looks at you kind of odd. That's where life begins. I don't know. Life begins at fertilization. Life begins at insemination. Life begins in the balls. Life is beginning right now. Literally, right now. It's building up. Hui.
So we're talking about zygotes. We're talking about clumps of cells. And he's saying, no. To have an abortion, that's worse.
Like, yes, I know the cells eventually have the potential to become future viable life, but you do understand that cells reproducing, that's a part of just existing as a organic specimen on this planet. Like,
Clean
if I
up
go
your
like
room.
this, I've scratched off a whole bunch of cells. They're gone. They're off my body now. Okay, it's why showering and stuff is good. And like, it's not as if I've just committed a genocide. We're okay. We're all here.
Than the act of rape itself. That's the implication, at least. And that's sick. I can't even
Tyrannical
even
Rex,
respond
thank
to
you.
that
Appreciate
without
it.
just vocalizing my disgust. You're a gross person if you actually think that women should be forced and girls should be forced.
Yeah, let's be completely clear about this. Girls, children, you are okay with that. That is unbelievably fucked up. Unbelievably fucked up. It's no wonder you have no sense of humor, because you want to force girls, not women, girls, to give birth against their will. Yeah, that's not exactly what I would consider to be someone who might be on the up and up on what or what isn't funny, you know?
To have their rapist's baby. And look, this is part of the evangelical ethos. When I was a young child, I was indoctrinated into religion, and I specifically remember this woman who came to speak at our church, and she talks about how she was the survivor of abortion because her mom was raped when she was 13 years old, and her mother could have had an abortion, but she did not. And when I was younger, that really resonated with me because I thought, oh, wow, it's so glad that she's here. But as I grew older and I thought back about that story that she told, I realized how absurd it was, inherently so, because it's not like you were watching. Like, it's not like, any of us choose to be here. It's not like we're floating on clouds and we're watching, our parents, and we're just saying, oh my God, please save me. Please, please save me. Or, you're crossing your fingers, hoping that your parents breed so you can exist.
Wait, that's not what Christians believe, is it? I thought that was kind of like a weird sect, like the Carolyn Borensenko's kind of one, the weird knitting why I left the left woman. But like I thought they were the ones that were like, yeah, they're all like pre-souls or whatever, and they're like, are you sitting there waiting for your parents to fuck? Is that it? It's like, oh, come on, just do it, Dad. Do it, Mom. Come on. It's about time for me to jump inside. Like, is that what they believe? Is the ghost babies? That seems really gross. Mormons believe in pre-birth existence. Oh, wow. Because I know, like, Carolyn Borensenko, she had this whole thing where, and this is why the right effectively has abandoned her now. She doesn't really have a group anymore. But she had this whole thing where she's like, we have to live multiple lives, and we keep living lives over and over, and we choose those lives. So everyone who died in the Holocaust chose that in their pre-soul life. So in their ghost baby life, they decided, hey, I want to be tortured horrifically and persecuted for being Jewish. So I'm going to choose that life and go forth in it. And then they also choose sometimes just to be like an aborted fetus, but they choose that. And so like sometimes it's like, okay, I want to experience this life where I'm basically, in a woman's stomach for a couple weeks, and then I'm aborted, but I chose that one. And then they choose other like that was her whole thing. And it was just like, what?
Really weird what if hypotheticals. I could say the same thing. Well, like, I might have not existed today if my mom had an abortion. Was she considering it? I don't think so, at least. If she did, would I care today? No, because I'm here and that's all that matters. Maybe we should take care of people that are here currently, that exist right now. But imagine like thinking,
that's it, right? And this is some weird moral grandstanding that conservatives try to get the upper hand on, constantly saying like, oh, well, at the end of the day, we're the ones that actually want to protect children and make sure that their lives are sacred and protected. It's like you care about the idea of a kid up until the moment it comes out of the womb. Then you could not give two fucks. Before that, it's just this, like, it's almost like this holy ghost kind of shit. Like, it's literally ghost babies. You care about ghost babies. That's it. The potential, the future potential of these souls entering us, the vessels, and inhabiting the pods, and then walking amongst the earth. That's what you care about. That's it. Even Mormons allow it when there's rape or danger to the mum. I like the idea also of like, yes, we do allow exceptions if the person's raped. That also kind of disgusts me, because it's like, what, that's when bodily autonomy kicks in. If someone is like horrifyingly violated, then it's like, oh, okay, well then I guess they should have a little bodily autonomy, a little crumb. After all, it was not their decision to get raped, so yes, we'll grant clemency in this instance. But otherwise, no one will have any autonomy. No woman should be able to decide what she does with her body, not as long as men are around, not as long as we have an opportunity to control them.
Do you enjoy the Serfs but prefer not to have to use your eyeballs? Many are saying this. Well, we've got the solution for you. It's the Serf Times in podcast form, available on most major podcasting networks now. If you enjoy it, please consider leaving a good review and feedback, because it really helps the show out, apparently, and it's free, just like the podcast.
To our gods, Xander Corvus and Peyton L. Juste, we shall spend many a generations building mighty cathedrals in your honor. To our monarch, Tom Spiker, we are but your oafish jesters, here to offer you a laugh at any opportunity. To our brave knights of the Round Table, Rachel K., Izzy Solidarity, Victoria Bell, Sebastian Demel, Mark Harmon, Benji Arney, Scary Earth Human, Tony, DM Rivera, Resident Scarecrow, Sir Nickus, Cheryl Alvarez, Ruby Kelly, Brandon, Words Greenwood, Everything Important, Hegbert Celine, Matthew Scarborough, Stellar Vision, Ariane McCarthy, Doug Cady, Daniel Sutton, Jenna Tao, Dark Puppy, Quiet One 85, Anna Loves Riley, Omni, Riley and Anna, Poodlehawk, Multimondi, Trevbot EXE, Brian Ephraim, Anthropophojak, Catherine, Ramon Acosta, Incosin, Ralph Parler, Violent Orchard, Political Puppy, La Media Panza, Todd Buckingham, and Todd La Jeunesse. We salute our valiant heroes off to fight injustice everywhere.